Mindset Engineering. Rebuild your mental blueprint for growth. Written and published by Sonic Digest. In the vast landscape of human potential, there exists an invisible architecture that governs every action, decision, and outcome in life. This architecture is not found in your muscles, your talents, or your physical strength. It resides solely in your mind. It is the silent force that shapes your beliefs, molds your perception, and dictates the direction of your life. But here's the striking truth. Most people go through life without ever realizing the extent to which their mind's blueprint controls their reality. And even fewer ever consider that this blueprint can be deliberately engineered, redesigned, and optimized for growth and success. Imagine for a moment that your mind is like a complex city. The roads, bridges, and buildings that make up this mental city have been constructed over years, decades even. They're shaped by the influence of your upbringing, the culture you've absorbed, the experiences you've faced, and the beliefs you've adopted along the way. For some, this mental city is thriving, filled with clear pathways that lead to progress, creativity, and growth. For others, the city is cluttered with dead-end streets, outdated structures, and mental traffic jams that prevent them from moving forward. But here's the exciting part. Just as a city can be rebuilt, expanded, and reimagined, so too can your mind. At the heart of this transformation lies the power of mindset engineering. It's a process that allows you to take control of your inner architecture, to break down the old, limiting structures that no longer serve you, and to replace them with a mental design that supports your highest ambitions. This is not a passive process, nor is it a one-time fix. It requires intention, effort, and the willingness to challenge everything you think you know about yourself and the world around you. What if the obstacles you faced in life aren't the result of external circumstances, but rather the outcome of faulty wiring in your mental circuitry? What if your limitations aren't real, but merely the byproduct of outdated beliefs that have been ingrained in you since childhood? More importantly, what if you had the tools to change all of this, to reprogram your thinking and unlock a level of potential you never knew existed? This is the foundation of mindset engineering, the realization that you have the power to be the architect of your own mental landscape. It's the understanding that the thoughts you choose to nurture and the beliefs you decide to hold can either act as barriers or as bridges to your success. And once you master this, the possibilities are endless. This journey is not about becoming someone else. It's about unlocking the most powerful, authentic version of yourself that's been buried under layers of limiting thought patterns and conditioned responses. It's about learning to see challenges as opportunities for growth, rethinking the boundaries of what you believe is possible, and systematically re-engineering your mental blueprint to align with your vision for a better, more fulfilling life. But make no mistake, mindset engineering is not a quick fix. It's a deep, transformative process that requires you to look inward, to face uncomfortable truths, and to challenge the very core of what you believe to be true. It requires you to dismantle the mental structures that have kept you trapped in patterns of mediocrity and rebuild them with purpose, resilience, and an unwavering belief in your ability to evolve. For those willing to engage in this process, the rewards are life-changing. You'll begin to see how subtle shifts in your thinking can create ripple effects that touch every aspect of your life. You'll experience the power of aligning your thoughts with your goals, of turning obstacles into stepping stones, and of breaking free from the limiting mental frameworks that have held you back for so long. This is your chance to stop living according to a blueprint you never consciously chose and start designing the life you truly want. The road ahead is challenging, but it is also exhilarating, filled with opportunities for growth, expansion, and self-discovery. The question is, are you ready to become the engineer of your own mind? Chapter 1. Blueprint of the Invisible Mind. The mind is not a visible entity that can be dissected and examined like a machine, but it operates with its own set of complex rules and systems that influence every aspect of our lives. These hidden thought structures form the foundation of how we perceive the world, how we respond to it, and how we navigate our day-to-day experiences. From early childhood, our minds begin to absorb information, creating frameworks that become the bedrock for our decisions, habits, and reactions. Yet many of these mental constructs remain in the background, shaping our lives without us being fully aware of them. Imagine your mind as a blueprint, an intricate design that maps out the flow of thoughts, emotions, and perceptions. This blueprint wasn't consciously drafted by you. It has been influenced by countless external factors: your upbringing, your culture, your environment, the people around you, and even the media you consume. These external forces gradually shape the way you think, often reinforcing certain beliefs and patterns that can either support or limit your potential. Within these thought structures lie the subconscious patterns that dictate your behavior. These patterns are not always logical or productive, but they are deeply ingrained. They form the basis for how you interpret situations, respond to challenges, and make decisions. For example, someone who has grown up in a highly critical environment may have developed a blueprint that favors self-doubt and hesitation. This mental framework could cause them to underestimate their abilities, even when they are more than capable. Another person who was nurtured with encouragement and support may have built a blueprint that drives confidence and a belief in endless possibilities. The invisible mind doesn't just operate in the conscious realm of thoughts. It runs deep into the subconscious, where a large part of our mental blueprint is stored. This hidden layer contains memories, traumas, assumptions, and biases that often operate without us realizing. It's like the roots of a tree, unseen, but responsible for the health and direction of growth. If these roots are weak or damaged, the tree will struggle to flourish, no matter how strong its trunk and branches appear. However, these invisible structures are not set in stone. They are malleable, constantly being shaped and reshaped by new experiences and perspectives. Every day, whether we realize it or not, we have the opportunity to influence this mental blueprint. Small shifts in how we view the world, how we approach challenges, and how we interact with others can ripple through our subconscious mind, gradually rewiring the underlying patterns that shape our reality. These hidden structures can also explain why change is often difficult. When you try to alter a behavior or adopt a new habit, you are not just working with your conscious mind. You are battling against a deeply ingrained mental framework that may resist transformation. The invisible mind clings to the familiar because it equates it with safety, even when the familiar patterns are holding you back. This is why becoming aware of these hidden structures is the first critical step in any kind of personal growth. At the core of these forces are the automatic thought processes that run beneath our awareness. We often believe we are in full control of our actions, but many decisions are made on autopilot, guided by these invisible structures. They dictate not just what we think, but how we think. Every time you approach a situation, your mind has already filtered it through a vast network of past experiences, biases, and beliefs. This filtering process is so rapid and automatic that you rarely realize it's happening, yet it dramatically affects your perceptions and actions. Your mental blueprint also determines how you handle challenges. For some, obstacles are insurmountable barriers, while for others, they are merely puzzles to solve. This difference lies in the invisible structures that shape our response to adversity. A person with a mental framework oriented towards growth sees failure as an opportunity for learning, while someone with a more rigid blueprint may see it as a confirmation of inadequacy. Understanding the blueprint of your mind means acknowledging that much of what drives you is unseen and unexamined. The forces shaping your everyday thinking are not just the thoughts you are aware of, but also the deep-rooted structures you seldom question. If you want to rebuild your mental blueprint for growth, It starts with uncovering these invisible forces and understanding how they control your decisions, actions, and emotions. Only then can you begin to consciously redesign the mental architecture that guides your life. Chapter 2. Mental Frameworks in Motion. Beneath the surface of every decision, every reaction, and every habit is a dynamic system of mental frameworks. These are not fixed or static, but are constantly evolving, driven by both internal and external forces. These frameworks are like invisible structures that influence how we perceive the world, and even the smallest adjustments to them can lead to profound transformations. Real change often begins with these subtle shifts, the ones that go unnoticed in the moment, but gradually recalibrate the way you think and operate. At the heart of these frameworks is the way we process and interpret information. Your mind is constantly receiving inputs, whether through experiences, conversations, or observations, and filtering them through pre-existing mental models. These models act as lenses, coloring how you see the world. When those lenses shift, even slightly, the entire picture changes. The same situation, viewed through a different mental framework, can lead to vastly different outcomes. To illustrate, imagine facing a challenging situation. If your mental framework is one that sees difficulty as an obstacle, your approach will likely involve hesitation, fear, or avoidance. But if your mental framework interprets challenges as opportunities for growth, your response becomes proactive, driven by curiosity and resilience. This shift in perspective doesn't happen overnight. It's the result of gradual changes in how you view the world, changes that often happen unconsciously, shaped by your experiences and the environments you expose yourself to. This is why mental frameworks are often described as being in motion. They are not fixed constructs that you carry for life. They move, adapt, and evolve with each new piece of information you encounter. The mind, like any finely tuned instrument, requires regular calibration to stay in alignment with your goals and aspirations. The process of calibration isn't about making dramatic, sweeping changes all at once. Rather, it's about making small, targeted adjustments that align your thoughts and actions with your desired outcomes. One way to understand this process is by considering how your mind reacts to the unfamiliar. When you are faced with new experiences, your mental frameworks have to adapt, reconfiguring themselves to make sense of what's happening. Initially, the unfamiliar might cause discomfort, but over time, as you begin to understand and integrate these new experiences, your frameworks expand. What once seemed foreign becomes familiar, and your mental blueprint grows more flexible, more capable of handling diverse situations. Growth happens when these mental frameworks are challenged, stretched beyond their original capacity. However, this stretching doesn't always occur in large leaps. Often, it's the small, almost imperceptible shifts that lead to the most lasting changes. When you consistently expose yourself to new ideas, perspectives, and challenges, your mental frameworks are forced to move, adapt, and evolve. This motion, this constant process of expansion and recalibration, is what drives real change. Calibrating your mind for growth involves more than just adjusting your perspective. It's about refining the internal processes that govern how you think, feel, and act. It's about cultivating a mindset that welcomes uncertainty and thrives in complexity. This requires an ongoing commitment to self-awareness, a willingness to question long-held assumptions, and the courage to embrace discomfort as a necessary component of growth. One of the keys to this calibration process is reflection. Regularly reflecting on your thoughts and actions allows you to identify patterns and shifts that may otherwise go unnoticed. By becoming more attuned to these shifts, you can begin to steer them in a direction that aligns with your growth goals. Reflection is not about dwelling on past mistakes or failures. It's about recognizing the subtle adjustments you've made and understanding how those adjustments are shaping your current trajectory. Another important element of this process is mindfulness. being present in the moment and fully aware of the thoughts passing through your mind. So by cultivating mindfulness, you can observe the movement of your mental frameworks in real time, noticing how they shift in response to different stimuli. This awareness allows you to intervene when necessary, steering your thoughts and actions in a direction that supports your growth. But calibration is not a one-time event. It is a continuous process that requires regular attention. Just as an athlete must constantly train and adjust their techniques to improve, so too must you regularly assess and fine-tune the workings of your mind. Growth, after all, is not a destination, but an ongoing journey. And this journey is marked by the ever-present motion of your mental frameworks, shifting and recalibrating in response to the world around you. In many ways, this is the essence of mental mastery, the ability to guide the movement of your mental frameworks with intention and purpose. It's about taking control of the internal mechanisms that shape your reality and using them to create the future you desire. Each subtle shift, each recalibration, moves you closer to the person you are becoming. And while these changes may be small and gradual, over time, they add up to a profound transformation in how you see the world and your place within it. Chapter 3. From Fixed to Fluid Designs. The human mind is often drawn to stability, to the comfort of familiar routines and predictable outcomes. Over time, this preference for the known creates rigid mental patterns that can confine thinking and limit growth. When these mental structures become fixed, they act like barriers, preventing us from seeing beyond what we've always known and done. Breaking free from this rigidity requires not just an intention to change, but a complete transformation in how we approach the act of thinking itself. Rigid thinking is like being trapped within walls that you unknowingly built. These walls are composed of assumptions, limiting beliefs, and habitual responses that have been reinforced over years, even decades. They make you feel safe, providing a sense of control over your environment and your life. Yet, this safety is an illusion. In reality, these mental barriers restrict your potential, narrowing your view of what's possible. You become confined to patterns of thought that may have once served you, but are now outdated and unaligned with your growth. To shift from fixed designs to fluid thinking is to dismantle these walls, brick by brick, and embrace a more adaptable and expansive way of being. Fluidity in thought is not about being indecisive or uncertain. It's about maintaining flexibility and openness in the face of changing circumstances. It's the ability to let go of old constructs that no longer serve you and replace them with more dynamic ones that align with where you want to go. One of the keys to adopting fluid designs is developing the courage to question deeply held beliefs. These beliefs, often acquired early in life, shape much of how you interpret the world. Some of them may be useful, but others might be holding you back, creating blind spots and barriers to new opportunities. It is only through critical self-reflection that you can identify which beliefs need to be re-examined and potentially discarded. This process is uncomfortable but necessary. Without it, you remain locked in a mental structure that was designed for a past version of yourself. As you begin to dismantle these rigid patterns, you'll notice that your mind becomes more receptive to new ideas, experiences, and perspectives. What was once dismissed as impossible or impractical may suddenly seem achievable, simply because you've allowed space for new possibilities. The fluid mind doesn't cling to one way of thinking. It flows, adapts, and evolves with every new piece of information. This state of openness is where true innovation happens, both in your personal life and in the world around you. A fluid mindset is particularly important in today's rapidly changing world. The pace of technological, social, and cultural shifts is accelerating, and those who remain stuck in fixed ways of thinking will find themselves unable to keep up. A fluid mental design allows you to thrive in uncertainty. Instead of resisting change, you move with it, using the energy of transformation to fuel your own growth. This adaptability becomes a strength, enabling you to navigate complex situations with ease, seeing opportunities where others see obstacles. The shift from fixed to fluid designs also involves learning how to live with ambiguity. In a world that constantly seeks definitive answers, it can feel unsettling to accept that not everything is clear-cut. However, ambiguity is where the potential for new thinking arises. When you resist the urge to prematurely categorize or judge a situation, you leave room for deeper understanding and more creative solutions. The fluid mind is comfortable with not having all the answers immediately. It trusts that, given time and openness, the answers will emerge. This transformation requires you to continuously challenge yourself to think in new ways. It's not a one-time process, but a lifelong practice. You must train your mind to remain open and adaptable, even when it would be easier to fall back into old patterns. This means actively seeking out new experiences, exposing yourself to different viewpoints, and deliberately engaging with ideas that challenge your current understanding. The transition to fluid designs is also deeply connected to the concept of identity. When you are rigid in your thinking, you often tie your identity to specific beliefs, roles, or outcomes. This can lead to a fear of change, as any shift in these areas feels like a threat to who you are. But as your thinking becomes more fluid, you begin to see identity not as something fixed, but as something that can evolve over time. You are not defined by your past, your failures, or even your successes. Instead, you are a dynamic being, constantly in the process of becoming. As you move through life with a fluid mental design, you gain the ability to view challenges not as roadblocks, but as opportunities for growth. The mind that is free from rigidity sees beyond immediate difficulties, recognizing that every challenge brings with it the possibility of transformation. In this way, fluid thinking is not just about being adaptable, it's about being resilient. It's the mental strength to remain open and flexible, even in the face of adversity. Ultimately, the shift from fixed to fluid designs is about liberation. Liberation from the constraints of old thinking, from the fear of the unknown, and from the limitations you've unknowingly placed on yourself. With a fluid mind, you are no longer confined to a singular path or perspective. Instead, you have the freedom to explore, to innovate, and to continually evolve into the highest version of yourself. Chapter 4. Blueprint Upgrades. The human mind, much like a blueprint for a complex structure, is never static. It is continuously evolving, adapting to new circumstances, experiences, and knowledge. This ongoing evolution is what defines the essence of personal growth. Just as a building's design may be upgraded to accommodate expansion, increased functionality, or greater strength, so too must your mental framework be refined to meet the demands of a changing world and an expanding sense of self. The process of upgrading your mental blueprint begins with an awareness that your current design, while functional, can always be improved. Many people go through life without questioning the patterns of thought they have relied upon for years. These mental structures, which may have been sufficient for past challenges, often become outdated as new obstacles and opportunities present themselves. The key to growth lies in recognizing that your mind, just like any tool, can be sharpened, enhanced, and re-engineered for greater effectiveness. The capacity for this kind of growth is rooted in how willing you are to push the boundaries of what you believe is possible. Expansion of mental capacity is not simply about accumulating knowledge or learning new skills. It's about stretching the mind to accommodate different ways of thinking, seeing, and experiencing the world. This requires a deliberate practice of embracing discomfort and unfamiliarity, for it is within these spaces that true growth takes place. Much of this expansion comes from your ability to challenge deeply ingrained assumptions. These are the often invisible limits you've placed on yourself. the boundaries of thought that determine what you believe is achievable or realistic. By questioning these assumptions, you open the door to new possibilities. It's about developing a mindset that thrives on adaptability, one that is not threatened by change, but welcomes it as a vehicle for progress. The most significant upgrades occur when you allow yourself to explore areas of thought that you once considered off-limits. These are the ideas, perspectives, or possibilities that were previously dismissed as too radical, too difficult, or too risky. However, it's in these very spaces that innovation lives. True mental evolution happens when you stop operating within the narrow confines of what you think you know and begin to venture into uncharted territories of thought. Upgrading your mental blueprint also requires a shift in how you view failure. Many people are afraid of failure because they see it as a reflection of their limitations. However, failure is not the end, but a critical part of the learning process. It provides the feedback necessary for refining your mental design. When you approach failure with an open mind, you see it for what it truly is, a temporary setback, a signal that something needs to be adjusted. With each failure, your mental framework becomes more sophisticated, better equipped to handle future challenges. In this way, upgrading your mental blueprint becomes an ongoing process of iteration and refinement. You are constantly receiving new inputs, whether through success, failure, or everyday experiences, and using them to recalibrate your approach. This continuous fine-tuning is what allows your mindset to evolve beyond its current limitations. Over time, the mental capacity you've built allows you to solve more complex problems, make better decisions, and achieve higher levels of personal and professional success. Another key to upgrading your blueprint lies in your capacity to focus. In a world full of distractions, your ability to concentrate deeply on meaningful tasks has become a rare and valuable skill. Deep focus is a mental muscle that, when strengthened, significantly expands your capacity for growth. When you train your mind to filter out distractions and concentrate on what truly matters, you create space for insight, creativity, and profound breakthroughs. Focus is not just about discipline. It is about channeling your mental energy toward the things that have the most impact on your growth. Moreover, an evolved mindset embraces the concept of lifelong learning. The more you expand your knowledge and skill set, the more capable your mind becomes of handling diverse situations and challenges. This doesn't mean you need to become an expert in every field, but rather that you develop a curious and open attitude toward learning. The mind, when consistently fed with new information and experiences, remains vibrant, flexible, and capable of adapting to the ever-changing landscape of life. However, mental expansion is not just about external input. It also involves going inward, examining your inner world of thoughts, beliefs, and emotions. This kind of introspection allows you to understand the patterns that govern your behavior and identify areas where your mindset can be improved. Self-awareness is critical in this process because it gives you the power to recognize when your current mental blueprint is no longer serving you and needs to be upgraded. Mental capacity is not limited to intellectual ability. It also encompasses emotional intelligence. Your ability to navigate complex social dynamics, understand the emotions of others, and manage your own emotions in a constructive way is a crucial part of your mental framework. Emotional resilience, in particular, is an area where many people can benefit from an upgrade. By developing the ability to stay calm and focused under pressure, you enhance your capacity to think clearly and make sound decisions even in the most challenging situations. Ultimately, upgrading your mental blueprint is about recognizing that you are a work in progress. The mind is a powerful tool, but like any tool, it requires constant maintenance, sharpening, and enhancement. Each day presents an opportunity to expand your mental capacity, to push the boundaries of what you believe is possible, and to evolve into a more resilient, adaptable, and capable version of yourself. The ongoing evolution of your mindset is not something that happens passively. It requires active participation and a willingness to continuously seek out new challenges and opportunities for growth. As you upgrade your mental blueprint, you step into a future that is not confined by the limitations of the past, but one that is defined by the limitless potential of a mind in constant motion. Chapter 5. The Neural Workshop. The mind is an intricate workshop, constantly working behind the scenes, crafting thoughts, emotions, and responses. In this workshop, every thought you entertain, every emotion you feel, and every reaction you have is shaped and reshaped by the neural pathways that form the foundation of your mental processes. Just like an artisan in a workshop, you have the power to shape these thought patterns and emotions, refining and honing them to create a more resilient, adaptive, and empowered mindset. Fine-tuning thought patterns begins with an understanding of how the mind tends to operate on autopilot. Many of the thoughts that pass through your mind daily are repetitive, automatic, and often conditioned by past experiences. These habitual thought patterns, while efficient in some situations, can also become limitations if left unchecked. Over time, they may form rigid neural circuits that dictate how you perceive and respond to the world, often without conscious awareness. The key to breaking free from these patterns lies in becoming more deliberate in how you manage and direct your thoughts. In the neural workshop, the first task is to recognize and observe the patterns that dominate your thinking. This is not about suppressing or judging thoughts, but about understanding them. When you become aware of the thoughts that frequently arise in response to particular triggers, whether they are related to stress, fear, insecurity, or self-doubt, you begin to see the areas where your neural pathways may need adjustment. The mind is incredibly malleable, capable of change at any stage of life. By consciously focusing on positive, constructive thoughts, you start to rewire these neural circuits, strengthening the pathways that support your growth and weakening those that hold you back. Emotions, too, play a central role in this process. They are not separate from thoughts, but are deeply intertwined with them. Your emotions often shape your thinking, and your thoughts can amplify or soothe your emotional responses. In the neural workshop, emotional fine-tuning is essential for creating a resilient mind. Emotional intelligence, your ability to recognize, understand, and manage your emotions, becomes a critical tool in navigating the complexities of life. When you can regulate your emotional responses, you prevent them from dictating your thoughts in a way that hinders your ability to act with clarity and purpose. Resilience, at its core, is built in this workshop through the mental adjustments you make in the face of challenges. Life inevitably brings adversity, and your ability to bounce back from these difficulties depends largely on how well you fine-tuned your mental processes. A resilient mind is not one that avoids hardship, but one that transforms challenges into opportunities for growth. This transformation occurs when you develop the mental flexibility to adapt to changing circumstances, the emotional fortitude to handle setbacks with grace, and the cognitive strength to stay focused on solutions rather than problems. In the neural workshop, setbacks are not seen as failures, but as feedback. Every time you encounter a difficult situation, your mind gathers valuable information about what works and what doesn't. This feedback is essential for making adjustments to your mental blueprint. Just as a craftsman continuously refines their work, you must continually refine your thoughts and emotions to align with your evolving goals. The more you engage in this process, the more resilient you become, able to face even greater challenges with confidence and ease. Building resilience through mental adjustments also involves cultivating a mindset of acceptance and patience. In a world that often demands immediate results, it's easy to become frustrated when progress seems slow. However, in the neural workshop, growth happens gradually through consistent effort and attention. The mind doesn't change overnight. It requires patience and persistence. Each time you consciously redirect a negative thought, regulate an emotional response, or challenge an old belief, You are making incremental adjustments that will have a profound impact over time. This process of fine-tuning extends to how you view discomfort and uncertainty. Many people resist uncomfortable emotions and challenging situations, seeing them as something to be avoided or minimized. However, in the neural workshop, discomfort is embraced as part of the growth process. It is through navigating discomfort that you build the mental resilience needed to handle future challenges with greater ease. When you train yourself to remain present and focused, even in the face of discomfort, you strengthen your neural pathways, ensuring that they can carry you through adversity with calmness and resolve. Another critical aspect of building resilience is developing a deep sense of self-awareness. The more aware you are of your own mental patterns, emotional triggers, and behavioral tendencies, the better equipped you are to make conscious adjustments when necessary. Self-awareness allows you to notice when old, unhelpful thought patterns are resurfacing, and it gives you the space to choose a different response. In the neural workshop, this heightened level of awareness becomes a powerful tool for creating lasting change. As you engage in this ongoing process of fine-tuning, you will also notice that your capacity for focus and clarity increases. The more refined your mental processes become, the less likely you are to be distracted by unnecessary noise or overwhelmed by emotional turbulence. Instead, you operate from a place of calm focus, able to see situations clearly and make decisions from a place of inner strength and wisdom. This clarity of mind is one of the hallmarks of a well-tuned mental blueprint. It allows you to stay centered and grounded, even when external circumstances are chaotic or unpredictable. In the end, the neural workshop is where you shape the inner architecture of your mind. Through deliberate effort and conscious attention, you can transform your thoughts and emotions into powerful tools for growth, resilience, and success. The mind, like any finely crafted masterpiece, requires ongoing care and refinement. Each adjustment you make brings you closer to realizing your fullest potential, enabling you to navigate life's challenges with a sense of purpose, strength, and unwavering determination. Chapter 6. Strategic Breakdowns. In life, many of our beliefs have been inherited, absorbed, or shaped by external forces. Some of these beliefs may have served a purpose at one point, but as you grow and evolve, you begin to realize that not all of them are aligned with who you are or who you wish to become. A significant part of mental transformation involves identifying which beliefs are holding you back, dismantling them, and replacing them with stronger, more empowering ones. The first step in this process is to understand that beliefs act as the foundation upon which your thoughts, actions, and decisions are built. If the foundation is weak or outdated, everything you build on top of it will lack stability. This is why it's crucial to assess your belief system critically. Some beliefs may be so deeply ingrained that they feel like an unquestionable truth. But often, these deeply embedded beliefs are the ones that need to be challenged the most. When you dismantle outdated beliefs, it's not simply about discarding them. It's about taking a close look at how they came to be in the first place. Were they instilled by your family, culture, or societal expectations? Did they arise from past experiences or failures? Understanding their origin allows you to see them for what they are, constructs of the mind that can be reshaped. This process of deconstruction requires honesty with yourself, a willingness to let go of what no longer serves you, and the courage to embrace the uncertainty of not having all the answers right away. As you break down these beliefs, you begin to see the limitations they've imposed on your life. Many outdated beliefs operate from a place of fear, scarcity, or a fixed mindset. They may tell you that you're not capable of achieving certain goals, that success is reserved for others, or that failure is a reflection of your worth. These beliefs create mental barriers, preventing you from fully engaging with your potential. To break free from them, you must recognize that these limitations are not inherent truths, but mental constructs that can be reshaped through conscious effort. Once the old beliefs have been dismantled, the next step is to replace them with stronger, more empowering ones. This is where the real transformation begins. The new beliefs you adopt should be rooted in growth, possibility, and resilience. They should challenge you to think bigger, take risks, and view setbacks as learning opportunities rather than as signs of failure. Instead of telling yourself that something is impossible, these new beliefs will encourage you to ask, "How can I make this work?" They foster a mindset of curiosity and creativity, allowing you to explore new pathways and solutions that were previously hidden by limiting beliefs. Strengthening the foundation of your mindset involves consistently reinforcing these new beliefs. It's not enough to simply acknowledge them. You must live by them. Every time you encounter a challenge or setback, remind yourself of your new mental framework. When self-doubt creeps in, reaffirm your belief in your ability to overcome obstacles. This continuous reinforcement is what solidifies the new foundation, making it unshakable over time. In this strategic breakdown process, it's essential to focus on beliefs that foster resilience and adaptability. The world is constantly changing, and the ability to thrive in uncertain environments depends on a mindset that is flexible and open to new information. Old, rigid beliefs are often built around the desire for certainty and control, but true strength comes from the ability to navigate uncertainty with confidence. Your new beliefs should encourage you to embrace change, view uncertainty as an opportunity for growth, and trust in your capacity to handle whatever comes your way. Moreover, the beliefs you build should be aligned with your deeper values and purpose. This alignment creates a sense of coherence in your life, where your actions and decisions reflect your true self, not the expectations of others or the pressures of external circumstances. When your beliefs are rooted in authenticity, they become a source of inner strength and motivation, driving you toward meaningful goals that resonate with your core values. This is the foundation upon which a truly resilient mindset is built. The process of strategic breakdowns is not about tearing everything apart just for the sake of it. It's about consciously deciding which aspects of your mental framework are worth keeping and which ones need to be re-engineered. By replacing weak foundations with stronger ones, you create a mental architecture that supports growth, adaptability, and long-term success. This new framework allows you to navigate life's complexities with confidence, knowing that you are equipped with the mental tools needed to overcome any challenge and continue evolving toward your highest potential. Chapter 7. The Growth Circuitry. The mind is an intricate system composed of pathways that guide your thoughts, beliefs, and actions. Just as electrical circuits transmit power through wires, your mental circuitry dictates how energy flows through your life, how you respond to challenges, handle opportunities, and pursue growth. To unlock your full potential, it is essential to rewire this circuitry in a way that primes you for continuous growth. This is not just about reacting to immediate problems, but about designing a mindset capable of handling bigger challenges, more ambitious goals, and deeper levels of personal and professional expansion. Rewiring your mind for continuous growth begins with an intentional shift in how you perceive challenges. Where many see obstacles, you must learn to see opportunities. This mental shift transforms the way your brain approaches difficulties. Rather than triggering a defensive reaction or avoidance, your mind begins to recognize challenges as necessary components of growth. Every challenge becomes a stepping stone, a tool that sharpens your abilities, strengthens your resilience, and pushes you beyond previous limitations. This reorientation helps you stop viewing setbacks as barriers and start seeing them as catalysts for progress. A crucial element of growth circuitry is the creation of neural pathways that reward learning, adaptability, and curiosity. The mind, when exposed to new information, ideas, and experiences, has an incredible ability to adapt and evolve. Each new challenge presents an opportunity to learn something new, to refine your thinking, or to build upon your existing knowledge. As you actively seek out these learning experiences, your brain becomes more adept at embracing complexity, viewing each situation as part of an ever-evolving puzzle. This approach not only enhances your intellectual flexibility, but also fuels your capacity to take on more significant, more complex challenges. To power this growth-focused mindset, you need to cultivate a deep-rooted belief in your ability to expand beyond your current capacities. This belief acts as the core driver of your growth circuitry, fueling you to take risks, try new approaches, and step outside your comfort zone. Without this internal conviction, growth stalls, and you retreat to safer, more familiar patterns of thinking and behaving. But when you truly believe in the unlimited capacity of your mind to grow, you become unstoppable. You recognize that no challenge is too great, no problem unsolvable, and no goal unattainable when approached with the right mindset. This rewiring also involves a conscious effort to replace fear-based thinking with growth-oriented thinking. Fear often acts as a limiter, convincing you that certain challenges are beyond your reach, or that failure is too great a risk to take. When fear dominates your mental circuitry, it creates mental blocks, preventing you from reaching your full potential. To rewire for growth, you must actively dismantle these fear-based circuits, replacing them with thoughts and beliefs that encourage boldness, creativity, and resilience. This doesn't mean eliminating fear entirely, but instead learning to operate in spite of it, letting it motivate you to push further rather than holding you back. Another aspect of this growth circuitry is learning to expand your tolerance for discomfort. Growth is not a comfortable process, and the challenges that lead to the most significant personal and professional expansion often require you to face discomfort head-on. Whether it's stepping into unfamiliar territory, making difficult decisions, or confronting limiting beliefs, the process of rewiring your mind for growth requires you to build a new relationship with discomfort. Rather than shying away from it, you learn to embrace it as a signal that you're pushing the boundaries of your current capabilities, stepping closer to your highest potential. Resilience, too, plays a central role in powering the growth mindset. Resilience is not simply the ability to bounce back from setbacks. It's the capacity to stay grounded and focused when the challenges ahead seem insurmountable. By rewiring your mental circuitry to prioritize resilience, you cultivate the ability to persist in the face of adversity, to view failure as a temporary setback rather than a final defeat, and to find solutions where others might give up. This internal strength is what powers your mind to take on progressively larger challenges, knowing that even if the road is difficult, you have the mental fortitude to keep going. Moreover, building this growth circuitry means integrating a sense of long-term vision into your daily mindset. It's easy to get caught up in the short-term demands of life, reacting to immediate challenges without considering the larger picture. However, a mind wired for growth operates with a clear understanding of long-term goals and aspirations. This sense of purpose acts as a guiding force, shaping your daily decisions and actions in ways that align with your broader vision for success and fulfillment. When your mind is attuned to this long-term perspective, you become more patient, more strategic, and more willing to put in the hard work necessary for sustained growth. The final piece of rewiring your mind for growth lies in continuously challenging yourself. Growth isn't something that happens in isolation. It requires constant stimulation, new inputs, and ongoing efforts to stretch beyond your current limits. Once you've reached a particular goal or level of success, it's tempting to settle into a routine. But true growth requires ongoing recalibration. You must consistently seek out new challenges, raise the bar for what you consider possible, and expose yourself to experiences that force you to think, act, and adapt in new ways. This approach not only keeps your mental circuitry sharp and flexible, but also ensures that you never stop evolving, no matter how much you achieve. In powering your mindset for bigger challenges, you learn to take a proactive approach to personal growth. You recognize that the mind is not a fixed entity, but a dynamic system that can be shaped, strengthened, and expanded with deliberate effort. By continually rewiring your mental circuitry for growth, you unlock a level of potential that is not defined by your past experiences or current limitations, but by the possibilities that lie ahead. This growth-focused mindset becomes your most powerful asset, enabling you to rise to any challenge, overcome any obstacle, and ultimately achieve success on your terms. Conclusion. As we draw the curtains on this journey through the intricacies of mindset engineering, it's essential to reflect on the profound transformations that lie within your grasp. The process of reshaping your mental architecture is not merely an intellectual exercise. It is a powerful and dynamic pathway to unlocking your fullest potential. You have learned to see your mind not as a static entity, but as a living, breathing construct, one that can be deliberately redesigned, expanded, and adapted to meet the ever-evolving challenges of life. Throughout this exploration, we have uncovered the hidden frameworks that govern your thoughts and behaviors, dismantled outdated beliefs that no longer serve you, and cultivated an empowering mindset that welcomes growth and resilience. Each chapter has equipped you with the tools to actively participate in the re-engineering of your mental landscape, allowing you to create a life aligned with your deepest aspirations. Consider the changes you've initiated, the perspectives you've shifted, and the boundaries you've pushed. Embrace the realization that this is just the beginning. The techniques and insights you have gained are not mere concepts to be put on a shelf, but tools to be integrated into your daily life. Each moment presents an opportunity to practice the principles of mindset engineering, to reaffirm your commitment to growth, and to embody the mindset of a lifelong learner. As you step back into your world, hold on to the understanding that your thoughts are powerful agents of change. They can shape not only your reality, but also the reality of those around you. With this newfound awareness, you can inspire others to embark on their journeys of transformation, igniting a ripple effect that extends far beyond your individual experience. Remember, the path of mindset engineering is not a linear one. It will be filled with ups and downs, breakthroughs, and setbacks. But through it all, the most important lesson is this: growth is a continuous process. Each day is an opportunity to refine your blueprint, to question your assumptions, and to design a life that resonates with your true self. As you move forward, carry with you the belief that you have the power to forge your own path. Embrace the challenges that arise as opportunities for growth, and trust in your ability to navigate the complexities of life with courage and clarity. The mind you have engineered is not merely a means to an end. It is a powerful companion on your journey, equipped to handle whatever life throws your way. The invitation is yours to take, to continue shaping your mental circuitry, to explore new horizons, and to live each day with intention and purpose. Your journey of mindset engineering does not conclude here. It transforms into a lifelong adventure, one filled with possibilities, discoveries, and the promise of endless growth. As you embrace this journey, remember that the architect of your destiny is you, and the blueprint for a remarkable life is already within you. Go forth and build the extraordinary life you were meant to live.